everybody. Welcome back to another TLS Minisode. I'm Claire,
And I'm Sarah.
and this week we have actually a ton of questions to answer, which I'm really excited about. I think that we're just gonna answer questions for this whole minisode, if that's cool with you. And even if it's not cool with you, that's what we're gonna do. So,
Yeah, you can't answer us, so.
if it's not cool with you, message us later. But you're just gonna have to deal with this one. Okay, most of these came from our Instagram story, which I really appreciate y'all sending questions in when we ask. That makes our lives so much easier, and I'm so happy that you're engaging with our social media. So we're just gonna hop right in. The first question is, would you date someone with a kid?
I think right now, at this point in my life, no. I feel like that sounds bad, but
No, it
I
doesn't.
just, yeah, I just don't think I'm in a place right now to be like a step parent. I'm still figuring out my own life. I don't know if I could be in charge of like a small person's life as well as they grow and develop. And yeah, so maybe like I can see myself like 5, 6, 7 years down the line, like being totally fine with it, like it not mattering in the slightest to me really. But for right now, no.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hard and fast no from me. Uh, maybe ever. I will revisit if I'm still like if I'm like 50 and I'm single still.
Feel like by that point, most of the people
That's
still have
why,
grown
yeah.
adult children.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that, which I don't know might be worse. But well then they won't be in the house. Yeah. I'm not dating somebody with a kid who's like growing up ever. I do not want to do that to me, and I do not want to do that to them. Them being the child. I like yeah, no. Nope. All right. So
That was a fun one. On to the next
yeah.
one.
The next question is directed at me, actually. This is question for Claire. How many times have you beaten Sarah at Mario Kart? If the two of you have never played Mario Kart together, then this question is pointless. Yeah, we've never played Mario Kart together, and I'm actually really bad at it. I don't, Sarah, how are you at Mario Kart?
I'm really bad too.
Oh, we should
So
play.
I was gonna say it'd be battle of like who's worse.
If I'm playing against just the like computer simulation thing, I can do okay. I don't usually come in first, but I usually don't like top like four. Okay.
The last time I played was at Tyler's place with Madeline, and she crushed it, and I came in last almost, like against like 14 other computer like
Yeah.
players. I came in last like every single time.
I will say if there's any opportunity to like fall off of an edge, I'm
Oh
falling
yes,
off of
yes,
the
yes.
edge.
I somehow end up going in reverse. I'm falling off the edge. I'm like running into the
Well,
wall.
it
I'm
depends
missing
too.
all of the boxes. Like
Which version are you playing? Like what
that one,
system?
it was on the Wii,
Are you using like the
the steering wheel thingies.
Oh, I suck at the steering wheel. I need to use the little joystick. What is that called on the nunchuck thing? That is that not what it's called?
No, I mean that's probably right, but
I have a
just
Wii, but I only have one Wii remote. Sarah, next time you come to town, bring a Wii remote and we can play Mario Kart. I had another one, but then my brother stole it and took it to his friend's house. All right. Next question. Have y'all seen that Flat Earther documentary on Netflix? I haven't. Have
uh,
you?
I have not. I'm really intrigued. I hadn't even heard about it. I'm really intrigued now, though.
Yeah, I'm going to.
It's
I
going to be
didn't
in the
know.
list.
Yeah, I didn't know it existed until just this minute. I will say, there is a boy who I had a thing for in middle school and beyond, and he is now dating a girl. Surprise! Who is a flat earther, and her whole family is apparently flat earthers.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and I found this out because we have some mutual
What an
friends,
exciting life.
and I was like, "Oh no, they're like dumb. Like, I thought he was dumb in the way that like boys are dumb when you're like, ugh, God,
Hmm.
he's just. But no, he's stupid.
I
Anyway,
mean, that's the only way you could date someone whose entire family
they're also
believes that.
anti-vax.
Well, I feel like these might go hand in hand.
Oh no, they do, and it's the worst. Anyway, I'm not dating him, and I'm glad. Anyway, moving on. If you haven't already, will you be watching Beyonce's Netflix documentary?
Um, Interesting question because I love Beyonce, but I've never been one to watch, like I haven't watched a single person's like musician's movie documentary thing. Like, you know how like Katy Perry, Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, like all these people had their like concerts and like toured. Lady Gaga, they all have like their documentary things. I haven't seen a single one.
I've seen all of them. I haven't seen Taylor Swift's, but it's out and I wanted to. Do you know what platform that's on?
I think that's on Netflix, question mark.
I remember when it came out, I wanted to watch it and then I kind of forgot it existed. So I will be watching Beyonce's. I haven't had time.
You can tell me how it is.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to watch it. I haven't, but I will. Okay. Most importantly, though, how much fun is it just chatting with your BFF about whatever? So much fun.
It's so much fun. I mean, it's stuff we'd be doing anyways. Like, we literally just do this anyways, but now we're recording ourselves doing it.
Yeah, so I've noticed that when we talk to each other the same way we talk like on the podcast, where we sound like we're on the radio or something. Like, we'll be talking, it'll be like our intonation just when we're like at dinner or something, we sound like we're addressing like a group of people, and I'm like, is this how we've always been, or is this just like happened to us recently?
Yeah, I was wondering that too. I was like, is this something that like, oh, we're just naturally inclined to doing podcasts, or oh no, the podcast has changed us in such a small amount of time? I don't know. I guess I'd have to, the next time we're together, we'll have to see how we are in a natural habitat.
In all honesty, I think we're both just always performing, so I think this is just like how it is. But yeah, no, it's super fun, and I'm really glad that people seem to enjoy listening to us, because
our dynamic.
Yeah, I have this fear that we're actually just like hella boring, and I'm just so narcissistic that I'm like, we're funny, people would like us. So.
Yeah, no, I think my biggest fear is being just like seen as incredibly, like, my two fears, incredibly stupid and incredibly annoying. So as long as people are like, hey, no, she's average, I'm like, hells yeah.
We set the bar really high for ourselves. Okay.
Hit that mediocre.
Middle of the road again. Next question. Why does C always post more than S? Do you want to take this away, S?
Yeah, I would like to say she doesn't always post more than me. I would like to say that S went on vacation and
broke her phone.
I went on vacation, broke my phone while on vacation, and couldn't physically post. But I will say I had thought ahead of time before going on vacation. Yeah. And I sent some posts, like some possible posts and some like images and stuff. So I wasn't totally useless during that time.
No. I would say that it's just kind of whoever has more time. I am a little bit more, not brand conscious, but like marketing minded, I think.
Oh yes, like, no. She thinks about like the aesthetic and like how everything looks together and if it's cohesive. And I'm like, I thought this meme was funny.
I'm like, we can't be posting text posts every day, because even though I want, like, I'm a very word driven person, and like Instagram is for images, so we're trying. So I would say that it'll change this summer. I'm gonna be like nuts busy, so S is gonna be posting a lot more than C. So
yes, it
comes in waves. All right. This next question. I know pasta and sleep inspires y'all to be sluts. Where do you find the inspo to be lonely?
That's just our lives, bruh. I wouldn't say I'm inspired. Like, what my I don't know what my inspiration to be lonely is.
I don't know. Yeah, the inspiration to be lonely is perhaps seeing other people who are
seeing
not
bad
lonely.
Relationships. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just happens that way.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, these next ones are a little bit more geared towards dating. What are some red flags you see when dating someone that makes you run?
Anytime someone refers to women as females, I like cringe so hard. I just fold into myself.
Okay, this is not always the case, but I was Snapchatting. There's this guy from Hinge who I was very, very, very on the fence about, but he did a 2 truths and a lie thing, and I'm a sucker for games, so I just like messaged him based off of that, and I was wrong about it. Anyway, but
That was a fun story.
Well, I'm not done. That was just the beginning. And then he asked me for my Snapchat, and my whole body turned into an eye roll. So that's a first red flag, is when somebody asks you for your
Oh,
Snapchat,
yeah.
like instead of your number or having a
Hmm.
conversation on whatever. But because I was bored, I gave him my Snapchat, and he looked worse than his photos. But anyway,
That's so sad.
yeah, and then this is okay. This is just all terrible. And he was like going to bed or whatever. I was working late last night, and he was going to bed, and he then started taking off his shirt. And I quit replying with my face, and I just started sending pictures of the ground because I was like, I want you to know that there will be no reciprocity, and I am not interested. I'm literally killing time until I can go home. And he, I quit answering him last night because I was like, I don't even want to talk to him. And then this morning, I woke up to like 4 Snapchats from him, like documenting his way into work. He was going to be late. There was traffic. And then the last snap he sent me was cussed out the lady at the Wells Fargo. So now I feel better. And I was like, fuck you.
Oh,
guy.
you seem like a trash person.
Yeah. So I just blocked him because I was like, I don't want this. He's gonna.
That's too much chaos.
Yeah. So those are all red flags. All of that is red flag.
Yeah, I would say treating customer service people terribly, definitely a red flag. Like not tipping, being rude to customer service people, totally a red flag. Anyone who says like, leave the mess, it's their job to clean it up. I'm like, that is a red flag for me.
Oh, agreed.
Yeah, no, that whole story was one big red flag, just like
Yep.
waving across.
Also, 90% sure he lives in Savannah, so I don't know how he got on my thing.
Have you been driving recently?
To work. No.
Maybe he was just passing through.
I don't know. Maybe I need to revisit my location. Anyway, that was terrible. Those are all red flags. Other red flags would be bringing up your ex on the first date, bringing up your mom on the first date, being stupid. Like I'm talking
Just
to,
being a real dummy.
this guy.
Believing that the earth is flat.
Yeah. Well, this guy I referenced in a podcast that is yet to be out. It's going to be a couple weeks down the road, but Bible verse bicep boy, he was mentioned on our Twitter.
Oh yeah.
He keeps popping back up. Like I thought we were done several times. Like I would just leave him on red and I'd be like, all right, we're over. We're over, like we had a relationship. Anyway, but he'll text me again like 2 days later and he'll be like, hi. And I'll be like, hey. But he says absolutely nothing. And I don't think he's like his reading comprehension skills aren't great. So those are kind of red flags. I'm still talking to him for the same reason I was talking to the terrible man from Snapchat, because I'm bored.
I think you'll appreciate this joke or this screenshot that I saw regarding this topic about people who can't carry a conversation. There was this screenshot of a conversation between 2 people, and the first person was like, so what do you like to do for fun? Or like, what are your hobbies? And the other person responded like, same as you, or like something really short like that. And the other person just said, wow, I'm about to go to the hospital. And the other person just said, why? And they're like, my back broke from carrying this conversation.
That's hilarious.
And I loved it so much. I was like, oh, Claire would appreciate this.
That's very, very me. Okay, I'm going to move along. What are some of your turnoffs when dating? I would say very similar to the red flags, but being selfish is
Yeah. Being selfish, being rude to people for like unprompted rudeness is one of my red flags. Yelling and like cursing,
Yeah.
just like, I don't know, unless you like just broke your foot, I don't really see a reason for it.
Next question. Is there any major dating etiquette that you feel everyone should follow? Do you have a policy?
Do I have a policy? Just don't be a dick. And don't ask for like nudes or like ask for my Snapchat, like you said, like within the first like 2 seconds of meeting.
Yeah. Okay, I actually do have a policy because I like to create rules. So this is when it comes to like social media, not social media, but like dating apps, kind of when it like what etiquette. So if you match with somebody on Tinder or Bumble or Hinge or anything, if you do not have their number, they're not even real. Like, they don't even, you can fuck with them. Like, you can be like, are you a robot? You can, like, fuck with them. You can, like, it's fine. They're not even real. So that's the first step. The second step is when you have their number, you need to treat them like a real person. But at that point, if you have not met up, you're still allowed to ghost. Like, if things are just weird, like, if you, like, you're allowed to ghost, but you should not, like, you know, just be weird anymore. And then the third thing is, if you have met them in person, if you have gone on a date, if y'all have met up somewhere, you need to explain, like, hey, I just don't see this going anywhere. It was great meeting up with you. Have a good life. Like, I mean, that's still abrupt, but you know what I mean. So
yeah, I feel like it's pretty solid.
Yeah, that's my Spark Notes
dating
etiquette policy that I've created. This next question I know is targeted at me, and I have too much content to put into this minisode, and we will address it in another podcast at some point down the road. But the question, the question is, have you ever dated someone you met in your professional life? If so, how'd it go?
So how'd that go, Claire?
Let's talk about this. Dating is not the right word. Actually, okay, I did go on a date with this one guy that I met through work like 2 years ago, but he moved and we both thought it was just okay. Like, we went on one date and it was a fine date, but this is not what he's talking about. Or the question is talking about. It did not go well. Dating is not the right word.
It was one of those, I don't know how you feel about this word, the situationship.
I mean, it's applicable. We had like I think we went on a date, like, to dinner, and he paid for it.
I'd say that was a date.
Yeah, so we went on a date, but we did not, like, date progressively. We just had a terrible time, and it was, we had a good time, and then it turned terrible because, anyway, we'll get into this on a whole nother podcast because I keep making this mistake over and over and over again. There are a number of gentlemen who I have worked with in one capacity or another who have become romantic endeavors in one way or another. Maybe 4 guys from work? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, That's what happens when all you do is go to work. Yeah, but it's a bad idea every single time. It went bad. Actually, there's 2 of the guys I don't work with anymore. I just met them through work. And that's fine. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I feel great about both of them. But if you're going to continue to work with this person, it's a bad idea. And I knew that going in, and I'm just dumb.
Yeah, I've never done it, so I have nothing to say.
Well, don't. It's a terrible choice, and don't do it. But you know I might again. Anyway, next question. Open bar or beer and wine at weddings?
That is a good question because my heart says open bar, but my liver says beer and wine. Well, I think, it also depends on the cost. It definitely depends because I feel like I'm now getting like glimpses into people actually planning the weddings. Like usually I just would attend and like not care or like think about what went into planning it. And now I know people actually planning their weddings and they're like, oh no, it's so damn expensive to buy alcohol. And so that would make me want to do beer and wine, but also like just like crazy family members drinking to excess, like with an open bar is a bad idea too. So I think I'm leaning towards beer and wine in all honesty.
Well, both beer and wine give me headaches almost instantaneously. So I would go open bar. I really see the benefits of beer and wine. It is significantly cheaper. It does reduce the amount of alcohol people drink. And from working at a venue, it's better because then people don't throw up in the bathroom and stuff like that. But as being just who I am as a person, I say open bar. I'm not going to get married ever. But if I were to get married, I wouldn't get married until I can afford open bar.
An open bar?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what I want.
I wouldn't want all of my family and friends exposed to an open bar. I'd be like, no, you guys are being normal for a little bit.
Oh, no. If I have everybody I have to invite, to a wedding at a wedding, I'm going to need a drink myself. So open bar, of course. Okay. So this next one has this is going to be our last question, and it comes with a little bit of a story. I got a text message about this, and I'm going to sub out the name. She sent the name, but I'm going to just call him Dumbass. Ready?
Ready.
Okay, so Dumbass snapped me today and sent a photo of his favorite hockey team and said, "Send playoff nudes for good luck, of course." I replied and told him to come see them in person since my giving to receiving ratio with him is 1-0. So basically, after a few snaps of him saying he doesn't want a relationship and me saying, "Same, I just want to fuck," he's probably coming over this weekend. Good idea or bad idea? He said, "You sure seemed like you wanted a relationship last time." And I said, "Yeah, I did, but you left me for someone else, and I don't forgive and forget easily." Thoughts?
I mean, my instinct is to always just say, dump them.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I have a shirt that says dump him.
don't talk to them anymore. I guess it depends on, I don't know, like how much you really want to hook up.
Yeah,
because
okay.
like how much are you willing to put up with just to like have a hookup, you know? I feel like that's where you need to draw the line personally and then move on from there. He sounds like trash.
Oh, he is. I mean, like, I don't know him, but like I know of this story.
Yeah, so I would say no, don't give him the satisfaction. I know that it's not like there's no strings attached, it's not a relationship, anything like that, but like why do something that benefits him as well?
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so I will say bad idea. I tried this once upon a time where this dude, t-shirt, was like, "I don't want to date." And I was like, "Cool, me neither, come over." And he wouldn't. He just like jerked me around. It was very, very weird. I was like, "Cool, nobody wants to date you, like, come over." And he wouldn't. And I don't know. I just think it's a bad emotional situation when you are at one point emotionally invested in this person. You're going to get your feelings hurt. It's a bad move. I can't really like say don't do it because I tried. So like, or maybe I have more authority to say don't do it because I tried. Either way, it's a bad idea, but he's coming over Friday. Not to my house, to her house.
I'm like, oh, that's interesting. What a plot twist.
No, that's just the end of the message. Okay, so the same person asked a tangentially related question. What are your thoughts on scheduling dick appointments in your planner? Good or anal retentive?
Wouldn't want that in my planner. I wouldn't do it. The end.
Okay. I'm a bitch who loves a plan, and I can't say that I have not written the name of some gentlemen callers on day of the week as a scheduled appointment. I haven't been like, "Dick, 8 p.m., but I've definitely written like some names like Friday, so-and-so, and like, but in pencil because they can cancel.
They're so fickle. They're too fickle for pen.
Too fickle for pen. Yeah, and when I was trying to coordinate with T-shirt once upon a time, we would make plans, and I would never write them down because I knew that he would flake. And guess what he did? He flaked, and that's why this was a problem.
That's why you never write things down. If there's one thing to take away from this Minisode, never write anything down. Your brain's good enough for this, right?
Sarah is lying. Write everything down. Just don't like get your heart set on some shitty dude coming over because he won't, or he will, and it'll be bad. So,
and on that note.
All right. Thank you so much for sending all these questions. There are so many questions where went longer than I thought we were going to.
Oh yeah, same.
Sarah, do you have any last thoughts?
Yeah. Dump him. Don't write anything down. And don't date a guy that calls women females.
Okay, I would agree with dump him and the female point to a degree. But I think you should write many things down, like keep a calendar. I think scheduling dick appointments is anal retentive, but I have done it. So, on that note, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for sending in questions. We will have another full-length episode out next week. And as always, you can find us on our social medias. We are on Instagram and Twitter at thelonelysluts, and our Gmail is thelonelysluts@gmail.com.
Bye.